Joining us now on the program is one of over 300 charities and nonprofits supported on Share Detroit's charity and nonprofit platform on their website at sharedetroit.org. Lexie Schwarze is the executive director of Hope Against Human Trafficking and joins us now on the Megacast. Lexie, thanks for being with us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, glad to have you on to talk about this topic because it's something that we are fortunately becoming so much more aware of in our communities and are able to better combat now than maybe we were a few years ago, certainly decades ago. But yet human trafficking is still a major issue in the United States, and that includes right here in Michigan. So tell us about what your organization, Hope Against Human Trafficking, does to help inform the community and prevent human trafficking in our community.
We're a 2-year residential program for adult female survivors of human trafficking. We've been in existence. We started in 2014, opened our doors in 2018. We've been able to assist over 28 survivors of the trafficking initiative, giving them hope for future and the opportunity to have a new productive life.
So when you are able to get in contact with these survivors and when they come to Hope Against Human Trafficking, what does that look like to help them through that recovery? Because there's so many different experiences that these victims of human trafficking go through, these survivors go through, and their recovery really does need to have a whole lot of nuance. So how do you help support that?
Yeah, it is so complicated. I think people think that a lot of times they're out there doing this because they want to do it. And that is absolutely not the truth. They're usually controlled by someone who completely breaks them emotionally, physically, spiritually, in any way possible so that they're compliant to their wills. So when they actually do come to us, they have to overcome a tremendous amount of trauma, a tremendous amount of physical ailments and complications. They have to overcome just their worthiness and their self-identity, and just that they have a hope for the future and they have an opportunity that they can have a different life than the life that they came out of. So it's very, very hard. In addition to mental illness is huge. They have a lot of things that were done to them, and they just experience a lot of a mental illness, overcoming depression and anxieties and fears and all of those things that you may think may be part of the control factor in manipulating them to do someone else's will.
Yeah, and these are all things that require a number of different interventions of a number of different kinds in order to help these people that have been affected by human trafficking come to terms with their experiences, recover from them as much as possible, and return them to some semblance of normal life and that feeling of having self-control of their identity and of their destiny. And so as that is happening, we have people that are coming back from those situations, are being rescued, or are escaping from those horrific situations. How are they often getting in contact with your organization, or are able to, in order to tap into some of these really important resources that can help them in their recovery?
Yeah, we are actually part of a sister organization called Thistle Farms, which are out of Nashville, Tennessee. They've actually been fighting trafficking for 26 years. They're just celebrating their 26 years. In addition to that, we're part of many, many other national residential programs where we get referrals. There's a national hotline, Polaris, that we also get referrals from, as well as our website. Many survivors will find our website themselves and be able to apply right online to us. We are, like Tyler was saying, a 2-year residential program, and in that, it's a free program. They totally do not pay for anything while they're in our program. And we provide their housing, their food, their clothing. We provide trauma counseling, equine therapy, art therapy. Oh my goodness. A chef comes in, we learn them how to cook. They go shopping. We have Bible study. We do book club, self-awareness, all different types of programming to actually help them with their identity, in addition to every single type of medical program you would think, whether it's a dentist, an eye doctor, a gynecologist, an internist, a back doctor, foot doctor, knee doctor. We really do help them. And then in addition, we give them entire, they can go to college, job training. We work with outside organizations that help with job training, job readiness, because our whole goal is to get them back into society and be self-sufficient at a livable wage. So we help them get jobs, they get employed, and then they graduate, and the success rate is 86% do not end up going back into the life and being trapped into the addictions or into that area of the life that they were with our program.
More information can be found on their website,
Mm-hmm.
hopeagainsttrafficking.org, hopeagainsttrafficking.org, or you can go to sharedetroit.org to learn more
Mm-hmm.
information as well. So we're joined by Lexie Schwarze, who is the executive director of Hope Against Trafficking. And Lexie, for you specifically, how did you get involved in this organization and doing the work that you're doing to help these individuals who are survivors of human trafficking and are working so hard in reclaiming their lives and their
Mm-hmm.
recovery?
I went on a mission trip in 2008 to Thailand. It's changed since then, but when you flew into the international airport, you actually had to take a shuttle through Bangkok to get to the domestic airport to fly up to where we were going for the mission trip. And as we're in the middle of the night going through Thailand, Bangkok, I saw all these children out on the street with older individuals being sold. And I came home from that mission trip in 2008 and said, oh my gosh, I'm moving to Thailand. I got to rescue these kids. Started doing a lot of research, and I realized I didn't need to go anywhere. It was the big, dark, ugly secret right here in the United States. And it still is. We've come a long ways in regards to bringing awareness here in the United States, but yet we are so far behind in thinking that it happens right here in our communities, in our neighborhoods, right across the street. And it does. A statistics that a lot of people do not even realize is that the United States is the number one consumer. We purchase more than any other country of individuals, men, women, children, than anyone in the world right here in the United States.
And that's shocking information for
Yeah.
many, but it's unfortunately the world that we live in, the country that we live in. And so, Lexie, people want to get involved to help stop this. And we're seeing that really be galvanized in the last
Mm-hmm.
several years as this has become more commonplace in the knowledge of our communities. And so organizations like yours and others that you partner with are able to help people in partnership
Mm-hmm.
to be able to join in on the battle against human trafficking. What are some ways that people can get involved with Hope Against Trafficking to help these survivors, but also help to prevent these tragedies that
Mm-hmm.
come along with human trafficking?
Yeah, on our website, hopeagainsttrafficking.org, there is a get involved button where you can actually volunteer with us. And there's an entire huge list of ways you can volunteer with us, whether it's spring cleanup, fall cleanup, attend all our different events that we have that are on our website to actually join us in fight in the fight. We're always looking for volunteers to come help clean, organize, work with our staff in many different ways. There's probably about 30 different ways you can get involved. But in addition, if that's something that you're not wanting to do, donate button is right there. We're always, since we are a nonprofit, you can always donate to our cause. Everything goes to our program and our women to make them successful and keep us running. Those are just a few ways. You can pray. Oh my gosh, this is such an evil, evil battle that we fight today for the survival of these women and young children and men that are being trapped in this horrific evil for someone else's personal gain. And you could just pray for these individuals, pray for Hope Against Trafficking, pray for Michigan. I just got a huge report back yesterday that in the United States, of the 50 states, we're ranked 30 in having services and places and money and means to help survivors in this state. That made me really sad to think that as a state, we actually don't have residential programs, we don't have emergency housing, we don't have funds that we put towards human trafficking task force to actually go out and help combat this and save women who are being trafficked, or men or children. So we have a long ways to go as a state, and you can start with us, or writing a letter to your Congress, the governor, the mayors, and just say, how can we be more proactive as a state?
HopeAgainstTrafficking.org, a great place to start. Same thing with ShareDetroit.org. We can find more information about Hope Against Trafficking and ways you can get involved. You can also call them 248 499 8416. 248 499 8416 for more information. Lexie, a couple more minutes with you before we'll need to wrap things up today. And with that time, I'd like to ask you to elaborate for our audience. What do you wish that people knew more about in terms of human trafficking and the ways that they can help prevent it, but also the ways it really has an effect, a major toll on survivors who are able to escape that situation or be rescued from those situations?
Great question. Thank you for asking, Tyler. I don't think most people, I think still in the United States, a lot of people think that they're out there doing this of their own free will, that they're choosing to want to be on those streets or in those hotels. And truly, that is completely opposite. 98% of the time, they're completely controlled by an individual who is manipulating them to actually go and do services to clients that they have no desire to do. The average is 20 to 40 times a day, 362 days a year. There isn't a Christmas break or a spring break, and they are being completely taken advantage of for the profit of a trafficker. The average person brings in, and I know a lot of people don't probably realize this, $250,000 is the average cost of what a trafficker receives from an individual that he is out there exploiting. So there's a lot of money involved in this, but awareness and education are going to be the means that we can help stop this.
Those educational resources, ways that you can help prevent human trafficking, and ways you can support survivors of human trafficking, all can be found on ShareDetroit.org by searching Hope Against Trafficking, or by visiting their website directly, hopeagainsttrafficking.org. Lexie, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh my gosh, thank you for this opportunity. I so appreciate it.